Hello my gorgeous loves out there and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to get into the new palette from DedeSignature, the From the Roots palette that they so kindly sent my way. I'm going to create a couple looks, do some swatches, give you guys all the info, and let you know my thoughts at the end. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bree. I'm a crazy lover of all things beauty. I love to post a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, and I like to do a lot on indie makeup. So if that is what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. Before we get into everything, my background's a little weird, and if it seems weird with the lighting and how it sounds, my room is pretty much empty because I'm getting flooring put in and removing the carpet, so that's why things look weird. So basically just have like my makeshift desk set up here and the things that are on my wall, but everything else is gone in here. Just wanted to let you know in case anything looks weird for this video, but we are going to get into this beauty right here. I'm so excited to try this out from DedeSignature, and thank you so much to them for sending this beautiful palette my way. But you guys know, of course, I'm always going to give you guys my true honest feedback, even if I get something sent in PR. But I have a pretty good idea that I'm probably going to love it. But this is what the palette looks like up close. It's called From the Roots, and on their Instagram page it says this palette celebrates ancestry, unity, and self-discovery. Every shade tells a story of where we come from, the cultures that shape us, and the beauty that connects us all. I love that theming. And this is going to launch on October 10th at 11 a.m. CST time, and it's going to go for $48.99, and you can use my code bricbeauty, which will save you some money off. It is affiliated, so if you do use it, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I'll show you guys the inside now. There is a mirror, and then here are the shades. It's a very like kind of fall color story, very earthy tones as well. We got some muted shades, but there's also color in here, and I love the variety of tones. There's, I think, 5 shimmers in here, and then the rest are matte. So good variation of shade options, and I'm sure there are probably some shifty metallics in here and gorgeous sparkles, because DedeSignature always comes through with some really beautiful metallics as well as really beautiful mattes. So that's basically the info about the palette. I'm going to create a couple looks with this for the video, and then I will probably do a third look for like an Instagram reel, YouTube short, so you have another option. And I'm trying to get this up before it launches. Anyways, let's jump into the looks now. We're gonna get into this first look, but I wanted to mention what's on my cheeks. I have the DedeSignature Bliss Blush Trio, and I use this shade. It's like a beautiful coral shade, in case you're wondering what's on the cheeks. And I have the DedeSignature Dazzling Bronze Highlighter, and I went into like the little goldeny strip. I love these cheek products from them. And I did also prime my eyes with the Glam Light Icing Eyeshadow Base in Buttercream and did not set it. And now we can get into this beauty right here. So I'm thinking I want to mix cool tones and warm tones. So I'm going to start off with Spoken Legacy and go right into the gray, which I feel like it's a shade most people typically don't go into unless you're doing like a smoky look. But I love trying to like mix warm and cool tones and going in with the color that I don't immediately gravitate towards to like really test the palette. But I'm just going to keep that on the outer corner, through the crease as well, but like midway. I'm going to go into Sacred Ember now, this beautiful mustard shade that leans a little bit more on the orange side, and I'm gonna put that in the front. Like I said, I'm mixing those cool tones and warm tones together. I'm not gonna blend them in together too much, so I don't want it to like get weird or muddy up, but just like where they meet, like right there in the center, and do like a little two-tone moment up here. Now I'm going to take the shade called Tribe Ink on the outer corner. It's like a blackened brown. I just want to add some depth out here. For the bottom, I'm going to take a different color. Hopefully this doesn't look funky, but I'm going to go into Royal Descendant just to use like another shade in the palette. And this is this beautiful like cobalt blue. I think it will work with the tones that I have on the lid. If not, we're just experimenting, and I can always take this look off, but I just really am trying to test the different shadows in here and kind of see what you can do. And I love doing this because then you can discover new color combos that you might end up really loving and maybe wouldn't normally try. And that's what I'm doing. So that's going on beautiful. I love a cobalt kind of blue shade. And I am going to take Tribe ink and use that on the outer edge just to match the depth up. That's in the outer corner on the top. And I'm just going to keep it on the outer corner. So now we're going to get into, I think, shimmers now. I want to go into, I don't know what I want to go into. Maybe this one, Harvest Soil. It's like green, but there's also like gold to it. So I think it will match the front. Because there's also this Harvest Crown, but it's more rosy. So I think Harvest Soil makes the most sense to use. Let me put that on the front. It's definitely leaning on the green side. And this is very smooth. Oh my gosh, this is really easy to apply. It's very creamy. So I'm just slapping that on the front part of the lid. And I'm thinking maybe to take a little bit of the Harvest Crown like in the center. Kind of like a meshing point between the goldeny shade and the gray, even though it has like a little bit of that rosy color to it. So for the inner corner, I'm not sure yet, but I do want to take a little bit of Ancestor Veil on the lower lash line. Maybe I also use this as an inner corner highlight. I think that will work. Let's see. I'm gonna get a flat shader brush and just pick that up. Ooh, that is a really beautiful, like little blue. I'm gonna run it down here and some in the inner corner. I think it has maybe some gold to it, like gold and blue. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's really pretty. And I'm just keeping that here and a little bit on the bottom. I'm gonna take one more lash shade, one of these like beigey ones. Maybe I'll go into Rooted Clay, this one right here, and use that to just brighten up the brow bone. Ooh, okay, girl, she pigmented. Wow, okay. I swear you could also use that as an inner corner highlight. I was not expecting that. I thought it was just gonna like really mesh into my skin tone, but that shows up quite a bit. But anyways, I think that's it for this combo. I don't think I'm gonna use any other shades. I think I wanna clean things up and blend a little bit more. I feel like I need to bring some back of the mustard into the look, like right there and all that. So I'm gonna work on the blend, figure out what I want to add to the look in terms of like liner and all that, and figure out a lippy, and I will be right back to show you guys the completed look. All right, my loves, I am back, and here's the completed look, and I'm loving this color combo with the gray, the mustard, and the pop of blue on the lower lash line. It actually works. And I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, what does this remind me of? And this fish popped up in my head, that tropical fish that I see all the time, like on TV. I'll put it up in the corner. It's called the surgeonfish. Look at it. I made that color combo. It has like kind of gray, black, yellow, and blue. So I ended up doing that, and I felt like there's a lot of fish that have this kind of color story. So I guess I'm really embracing, like, you know, Mother Nature with this look. But let me lower the brightness and, of course, show you guys the shimmers on my lid with my little flashlight. You see that? Look how sparkly the shades are, especially that inner corner shade. I just feel like this gives you a chance to really see the sparkly goodness and the little shifty shades on the lid. But I'm actually really happy I did this color combo. Not like my usual go-to, but I think it works. So I did do a few things off camera, not a lot. I just went in with the KBD tattoo liner to create this kind of bigger wing that I wanted to go. Then I used the Tarte Platinum Lights Lashes Camera Mascara and the Benefit FanFest Mascara, that little combo right there. Then in the waterline, I used the LA Girl Metallic Shockwave Liner in Ocean. So I guess ocean theme was on my mind for this look. And then for the lips, I have the lip gloss from DedeSignature in Chestnut and the matching lip liner in Chestnut. This lip liner is a little darker and the gloss is a bit lighter, so it kind of gives it like a little ombre effect, but I thought like a 90s brown lip actually worked out with this look. And I love this. This is why it's fun to adventure out and try different color combos, and you never know what you might fall in love with. I would totally do a look like this again. I really love it. But yeah, that is everything for this first look. I am now going to take you to the next look. All right, y'all, we're getting into the next look, but I did want to mention I went into the Pinch Cheek Trio this time from DedeSignature and mixed these two shades to make this little cool tone blush on the cheeks. And I went back into the Bronze Dazzling highlighter and I went in on like the icy pinky side for that. So that is what's on my cheeks. Now we can get into this. I'm thinking green and purple. That's the vibe now. And I did prime my eyes again with the Glam Light Icing Eyeshadow Base in Buttercream and did not set it. So let's just jump on in. We're gonna get into the shade called Rebirth, this one right here. And I'm going to use that on the outer portion and see how that comes out. You know, purples could be a tricky color to formulate as well as blues, but I have no doubt that DedeSignature will come through with this purple, which from what I can see, they definitely are. And I'm gonna bring that like a made away. Yeah, like that. That looks good. There's a good amount of depth to it. And it's going on very nicely. Now for the inner portion, we're gonna go into Olive Tree, the green. And I just dusted off the excess. The shades are a bit powdery. So, you know, you always wanna dust off the excess from your brush. But I'm going to just concentrate that green all in the front. I actually dipped my brush into the shimmer. This green does not have sparkle in it, so ignore that. I don't know how I did that. But anyway, so I'm matching up the purple to the green, just like how I did in the first look with the gray and the mustard shade. And obviously I need to deepen up the outer corner a bit because that's what I'm about. I'm gonna go into Tribe ink and just put a little bit of that in the outer corner. Get a little smoky. Now to blend out the edge of the purple, I'm gonna take the Generational Love, this pink. That's such a beautiful name. I love that. And I'm gonna go on the edge of this purple shade just to soften things up. And it's gonna add like a little pinky touch into the mix. Wow, that is a very pigmented pink. It is showing up really well. And it's helping to like soften the edge of the purple matte. And then for the green, I'm gonna use the shade called Spice Root. And I'm gonna use that to blend out the edge of the green and get things nice and diffuse. It's a nice kind of cooler toned beige, and I'm just working that right there in the front. Now I'm going to just use the same shades on the lower lash line. So we'll start off with the Rebirth. And I'm going to use Tribe ink on the outer corner to match up the depth that we have on the top. Connect it up. And then I'm going to bring that olive shade in the front here using this little angle brush. There we go. We got our little two-tone moment going on. Now for the shimmers, I have to start off with the shade called Sacred Thread. This is so beautiful. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of bronzy, but there's like a little bit of purple going on. This one's definitely more flaky than the other two shimmers I used on my lid for the first look. And they're just a little bit more like intense with the shimmer. Wow, that is beautiful. Yeah, it's like bronzy and purpley and taupey all at the same time. I'm loving this shade. I'm just keeping it more in the middle and towards the outer corner. And then for the inner portion, I'm gonna go in, I think with Divine Dust, because this one looks like it has a greeny shift. Ooh, it does, look at that. I'm gonna use that in the inner portion. Oh, that is so pretty. That is a beautiful iridescent green shade. And then I think I'm gonna take a little bit of Harvest Soul in between those two shades, right in the center, as like a connecting point between the two metallics that I just used. So for the inner corner, I think I'm gonna see if I could use Sacred Ember and mix it with Rooted Clay to make it a little on the lighter side. I don't know why, I kind of want like a yellowy-ish moment in the inner corner. Let's see if I can make that work. Ah, that combo like mixed together kind of makes it like a peachy shade, but look at it. Look how bright that is. This is why I love having like a light matte that you can mix into other mattes to make like a lighter shade. And this is doing such a good job. I love this. So I'm just gonna pack that in the inner corner for that little pop. And now I'm gonna take Spice Root and use that as a brow bone highlight. See how that beigey shade shows up. And it shows up just as much as the other beigey shade to brighten up the brow bone. So I think that's the look. I know I have to fix the mattes a little bit, do some more blending, and then figure out for, you know, what I'm gonna use for my lips, liner, mascara, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna do that, do the other eye, and I'll be back to show you guys the second look. All right, my loves, I am back, and here is the completed look, and I love how it turned out. I did do a little bit of like a liner detail. I was just feeling inspired. I do feel like this is giving like a Halloween kind of vibe. If I had like a costume, I think I would be set, but I love the color combo, and this like peachy little pop in the inner corner is giving me life. But of course, let me lower the brightness down, get the flashlight out so I can show you guys the goodness on the eyes. All right, so here's my little flashlight. Do you see that? Look at the sparkle. And the liner that I use is from Lethal in their Avatar collections. It's a multi-chrome liner that kind of shifts. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at the lid. Look at these shades. Oh, this is such a beautiful little combo. But let me turn the brightness back up. I feel like I'm giving kind of like fire flames too, almost with how I did the liner. But like I said, it's the one from the Avatar collection. I think it's part of the, not the Katara set. I can't think of which set this is, but I'll have a link below. Is it the Toph set maybe? Yeah. But it's like a shifty green to like blue and purple. Now the green is really pulling up the most on this eye look. Then I use the same two mascara, which is right here. So the Benefit one and the Tarte one. But I think I might have forgot to put some on the lower lash line now that I look at my look in the viewfinder here. We're gonna ignore that. And then for the waterline, I went in with this Urban Decay liner that's called Voodoo. It's like a metallic purple. It's like something they don't sell anymore. I've had that one forever. And then for my lips, I have the DedeSignature lip gloss and Charm and the matching Charm lip liner. It's just like a nice little pinky nude on the lips, and I think it pairs perfectly with this eye look. So that's basically all I did, my little detail. And I'm loving this little combo, and I feel like it's so different from the first look. So now that I finished look number 2, I think we can now get into my like kind of final first impressions on this palette. I'm just gonna say it. This is another great release from DedeSignature, but I am not surprised. I feel like they make very high quality, beautiful, consistently amazing products, from their eyeshadows to their lippies to their blushes, their highlighters. I have not been disappointed by any of these products, and I'm not saying this just because I received PR from them. This is my honest feedback. I love their products. I've also purchased from them, and I'm just like a big fan of what they produce, their color stories. I think that they have fair pricing for their products, and I'm just a big fan. So this palette right here has a lot of beautiful options. I love the two looks that I was able to create. They were very different, but I think the color combos just worked in both looks. And I think this has beautiful, very earthy, a little bit muted tones, but we got some color in here. I love the variation of like lighter to mid-tone to deepening shades. These two beiges, they're quite similar though. I'd say one's like more of a warm beige and a cool beige. Maybe we didn't need both beiges, but they do pack a punch and they are quite pigmented. And you can use these like lighter shades to mix in with the other mattes. If you want to like have a lighter purple or a lighter pink or a lighter green, you can do that with the beiges in here because they're so pigmented and on the lighter side, and they definitely show up on their own if you guys, you know, as you saw in the two looks that I created. And then I'm just loving the shimmers. Now I do feel like some of the formulas are a bit different. So these two right here, they're definitely on the smoother kind of creamy end. Definitely great if you suffer from textured lids and you want something that's not going to enhance texture. They're really beautiful. They have nice shifts. They're not like intense shifts, but there's a subtle shift to both of them. And then these right here and this one, well, these right here are very sparkly and soft and really beautiful shades. And then this one right here, Sacred Thread, is probably the most flaky, a little bit more textured, but it still glides on the lids beautifully, and it has a lot of metallic shine and sparkle as well. So there is variation in the metallic formula in here, but the mattes were all consistent, no issues with any of the shades. They were all pigmented, all easy to blend, performed really well on the eyes. So if this is your kind of color story, if you like these earthy tones mixed with some color, you like the options that are in here and the shimmers, then I think this is a great one to go with. I think you will not be disappointed with this color story. I think it matches like the whole theme from the roots, and I love like what this palette represents and what it's all about. So this is a really beautiful one. So I do recommend this one if you're wanting to check it out and if this color story speaks to you. Like I said, that palette is going to be launching on Friday, October 10th at I think 11 a.m. CST. And I think it's going to go for $48.99. And of course, you can use my code bricbeauty to save some money off. But you guys will now have to let me know, what are your thoughts in the comments below? What do you think of the two looks? What do you think of the palette? Are you planning to pick it up or not? I would just love to hear from all of y'all. And if you are new here and you enjoy this video, you like a lot of fun and colorful makeup content, you like a lot of indie and beauty and all that fun stuff, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will have the site linked for where you can get this from. I will have the launch information. I will link like my DedeSignature playlist if you want to see other products from the brand in action. And I will have my makeup link, like the foundation and everything that I am wearing, all that good stuff. And I will have my contact and my social media platforms linked. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle. I'm Breezy_beauty, and I do plan to do a third look for my Breezy_beauty. So look out for that. If you want to see another one, it should be coming soon, and it will probably get posted as a YouTube short. But guys, that was everything for this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for being here, for supporting my channel, being amazing. I just appreciate you guys all so much, and I hope all of you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just send you guys so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.